Hello, my friends. Not sure if anybody's got my message and we're going to join me live or not tonight, but I'm going to step you through making this very cool fun fold. And as you can see, it's a sideways opening card, but it doesn't open all the way. It just opens part way. And then this is its kind of like a handle, I guess you could call it. So I'm going to make this card, but I'm going to use some of the different paper. And this is from the Peach set in the brand new catalog. You can find it on page 61. Here it is here. Let's see if I can show you the peaches here. So this is the set, and it has some coordinating dies. It's on 61. It also has some coordinating designer series paper. And the paper is just gorgeous. Of course, I do love my fruit, so I'll show you some of the different papers here. We're going to be using this one here with the peaches, and it's got this on the back, and we've got this pretty green, coordinating green. It's got the peach flowers on the other side, and we have this one that is just the flowers, and then on the other side of that we've got some nice blue stripes, which would have gone nice with this other card that I made as well. I could have put stripes on the side here, and that would have been kind of cool either way. Then we have these stripes right here, which are Calypso Coral, and then some kind of funky flowers on the other side. We have some polka dots with the different colors in it, another sheet of peaches, and we have the blue that you see on the card there, which is the blue on one side and the blue kind of modeled polka dots on the other side. I think that was all for the patterns. I think that was all that's in there. I wasn't counting to see if it's all the numbers of them. But anyway, I'm going to do, since I'm using this paper here and not using the blue, I'm going to coordinate with Pear Pizzazz. Pear Pizzazz is a coordinating green for this set of colors. Some of the other coordinating colors for the paper are the petal pink, which is this pink right here, which you can see matches the flowers there. We've got Calypso Coral, which was one of the other options I was going to use, but I decided to go with this. Bumblebee, I'm not quite sure. I guess there's some very light yellow in there that goes with the bumblebee. And then we have Early Espresso, which matches with the branches here. You can see that. And then we have the Pale Papaya, which is the new color, which matches the peaches. We have some of the mango. I guess I didn't pull out any of the mango. Maybe this was the mango. I think that's pumpkin pie. Never mind. I'm not going to show you that because it's not mango. Mango Melody. And we have the Balmy Blue. And Mango Melody goes as well. So those are the coordinating colors for the designer series paper, but of course you can use other paper colors. If you'll notice on this one here, this is actually Grapefruit Grove, which is a retired color. And I didn't realize when I grabbed it, and it really matches with this paper as well. So if you've got any of the Grapefruit Grove and you get this paper, you can also see you can use that color as well. So we're going to start. Let me show you the stamp set before we start. We've got Sweet as a Peach is what it's called. And like I said, there's a lot of coordinating dies. Excuse the extra tape on here. I'm using to hold it down as well. A lot of extra leaves that you can see here. I have some in the baggies. I've got peaches in that one. So we've got some extra leaves. We've got the leaf topper, which is this one here. We've got lots of these extra leaves. We've got a double leaf, and you can do multiples of them when you're punching out, which is really helpful if you're doing a lot. And we've got the single leaves there. And then this is part of the 3-flower set right there. And then we have this label die right there, which I did I stamped a couple of sayings like "It's your day," which fits perfectly in there. So there's a bunch of different sayings. Let's see if I put it this way, right here, that all fit within this label die. And then we've got some really, really tiny flowers, which I'm going to have to show you on this other thing, which I've got on my plate right here, that cut out some really, really tiny flowers. So we've got that die, which is a little bigger, and then we've got these, and this comes with 3 of them. So you've got 3 of the little tiny little flowers, which we'll put back in there. But I left these on here purposely to show you what you can do. There's a stamp that coordinates as well, although it's somewhat difficult to line up. But I found it was much easier for me if I took and just stamped out a bunch in white. The Whisper White, or Basic White, is now what we have. And took my blends, such as this. I've got a Balmy Blue blend, and then I just colored over the top of it, and it makes some really pretty flowers. And then of course that middle pops out as well. So I did a bunch of the blue, the Balmy Blue. I did some Calypso Coral ones, as you can see right here. And a little one that's Calypso Coral, and I'm going to have to make sure I clean my plate, which is kind of dirty, as you can see. I meant to do it this afternoon, but I got too busy doing some other things. So the Pale Papaya blend. So it makes it really, gives you some really, you can see there's some real pretty flowers. Let's put it on here so you can see the white background. And like I said, the middle pops out. So you'd have a white center if you did it on a white card, for instance. And these are some of the coordinated colors that go with it. So that's the little tiny flowers and the other ones. So that's some of the dies. And then you also have this one stick branch that you can pop out as well. So that gives you an idea of some of those. Now, to make the card, and I'm going to show you, this is a very, very easy fun fold. You're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, which is, as you know, half the long way of a sheet of 8 1/2 by 11. So you're starting with that. And then we're going to score it at 5 1/2 and 4 1/4. 5 1/2, of course, is the center of the card. So we'll push that over here. And we'll burnish the thing. And then you've got your other 4 1/4. And the 4 1/4 is going to give you a 1 1/2 inch strip right here. So let me put that right here. Simple, simple. And that will become your side part for when you open it like this. Now, you have a couple different options for cutting for here. Of course, you have 4 1/4 is your depth here. So you can do a 4 inch by, this is 1 1/2. I should write that on the sheet here. Write it down for you. So your DSP is going to be 4 and, what did I say, 4 1/2, 4 1/4, so 4 inches by, this is 1 1/2, so 1 1/4 is one of your options, but I'm going to tell you that I'm not using that option. And then your sheet for here, because this is actually 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, this is a perfect square, you could do 4 by 4. But for my purposes, I'm going to do it so I have a little less of a border. So in my case, I have it as 4 1/8 by 1 3/8 for this one. And I cut two different sizes. So let's do this one. So this one is 4 1/8. So you've only got, oh shoot, I didn't cut it small enough. Gosh darn. All right, so I'm gonna have to cut that one again. Here we go. It's 1 1/2. So I don't think I measured it right, did I? Yes. So 1 1/8, not 1 3/8. So it's 1 1/8. There you go. So if I cut 1 1/8, then we got each is a 16. So we got the second one is the 1/8. So we'll cut that one down a little bit thinner. And I know I did this one right because it's lining up. So this one is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so you've got your sizes right there. 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 for this one. Okay, now we're using Designer Series paper. If I use the wider one, this one that's a little bit shorter, and I put a border around this one, that would be your 4 by 4, 1 1/4. And I use cardstock. We'd want to make sure that when we punch our holes, because you're not going to be able to cut with a hole punch, you're not going to be able to go through too many layers unless you use a crocodile. Now for I went all the way in, but you could measure less. I did this like this, and all the way in. So it's a shorter ribbon that we're going to be using. Okay, and then I'm going to put on my now, because I'm only using Designer Series paper, I could have used put this on first and punched through, because it's not like I'm using 2 pieces of cardstock, if that makes any sense to all of you. Okay, so then I'm going to mount this on here like this. I can get it lined up. I usually like to be pretty close to my paper when I put it on. But I'm starting to use the glue now because I'm not liking the old mono adhesive that I've been traditionally using. So I'm using this, and then I can also move it around a little bit. And I'm going to put this one on here. And this one's getting a little bit low, so let's see if I can still get enough out of it. Make sure we put it on the right way here. Put this one on like this. As such. See if it's lined up here. Okay. Now this other one should be dry enough. Now I can put my holes here. Because I know it all the way. I can see my hole there. And you can also kind of feel it when you're going through, okay? Now we still need to do our hole through the back side. So now that we have our holes here, I'm going to go in again. Okay, got it right there. Oh, it's off center. Darn. See, that's because I'm on camera. Well, a ribbon will probably cover it anyway. And then I'm going to want to use some coordinating color. So I pulled some old ribbon that I had. That was, I've got a couple different ones here. I think I'll use this one here that are Calypso Coral. But before I tie, well, actually I can do it. I can put it through. Okay, now we want to be careful where the holes are because we want to stick this side down. I can see it better on this side, so I'm going to do this side instead. Because you want to go around the holes. That's why you can't put everything together before you do your holes. Because you don't want to put glue on where your hole is. And so that is going to stick down, and then just this side will open. Just like that. I hope you can all see this here. I'll let that dry for a second. It dries really pretty quick, but just want to make sure. Now, one thing I forgot to do is to do my inside, because otherwise we have to write on the green. So I'm going to do another 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 for my inside. Is that 4 1/8? Now I'm starting to second guess myself here. I think I'm going in the wrong direction. Let's see here. Nope, I'm right. 4 1/8. Gosh, I hate when I second guess myself. So we'll go 4 1/8. That's right, because we're 4 1/4 is our size. So 4 1/8. We just want to go down 1/8. And then I've got my white, and this is a scrap, so there's going to be writing on the back side of it. So we're just gonna, we won't see it. All right, I think we're getting too low on that one. Let's get the other one. Nope, now that one's gonna be clogged, wouldn't you figure? Come on out. Well, maybe we'll just kind of stick with this one since that one's not, I should have checked that one before. I thought because it felt full that it would be okay, but apparently not. So, we're going to open this up. And we'll put this just inside here. And that will be the space where we can write on. So again, that's 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 because I didn't want too big a border around the outside. I wanted the focus to be on the designer paper. And then when we go through, because this should be dry here, we're going to put our ribbon through here. And we'll go through our back. I'm starting to shred here. There we go. See if we can get it straight on the back here. And then we'll just kind of over that side there. Tie it, and I'm going to want a bow, and I think I need a little bit more. Just so I can have a nice bow. Thank goodness, I'm all thumbs right now. That's why I like to do these earlier in the day. Not that I'm not all thumbs during the day too, but let's see. Oh, look at that. I got the tape. I'm like, what is the tape doing on there? Okay, so. And then we got a nice little bow there on the side. And then we can decorate it. A little long for my tail there. Okay, now let me show you with the set what I did. Like as I said, for this one I did the peach in Grapefruit Grove, but if you don't have that and it's no longer available, as it's not, I also did a peach, which looks really good with the Calypso Coral, which will look nicer with this one anyway because you've got some darker peaches. So then I'm going to take a piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to take my peach stamp, put it in the Calypso Coral. Let's move that out of the way because we're not using that again. So I took my peach, and we all know that peaches are not necessarily a solid color. They've got different variants in it. So what I did is I took my blend to get this one here. I took the blend and I colored over it in the pale papaya, particularly on this shaded part over here. It is supposed to stamp this way, by the way. So I just took my dark pale papaya, and it added a little bit more of a yellowy, well, pale papaya is a yellow orange. It's a lighter orange than the Calypso Coral, which could be considered a red for some people, I'm sure, but and so I just added a little bit of extra color on that, and see how pretty that came out with the I mean, it still looked good as a Calypso Coral, and I did a couple of peaches in I did Calypso Coral, I did Mango Melody, which is also a coordinating color. Here's a pale papaya peach, which looks pretty too. I did not care for the Mango Melody. It was too bright orange for me. So the Calypso Coral, it ended up being my favorite other than the Grapefruit Grove. So then I take my die, of course, and run it through. Oh, but I think let me do my leaf first. I'm going to use, for my leaf, I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz because that's the coordinating color for this Designer Series paper. Although I think you get away with using Old Olive because it is a deeper or darker version of it. So I took that leaf there. Close these up so I don't get them all over the place. Actually, I'm going to use probably the Pear Pizzazz for the words, but let's cut these out first. So I've got the pear and the leaves, I guess, because there's more than one. I'll just take some of my washi tape. Hopefully, one of these days we'll get the magnetic plate for my Stamp and Emboss machine. I'll cover that off, and we'll cut those out. I also want to say that I did, I've already pre-cut the label that I used from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. This is nice not using it over and rocking the boat over on your table. Not so rocky today. Okay, so now we have our peach, which is beautiful. And then we have our leaves here, which is beautiful again. And I realized, I was trying to put it this way, but I realized that the peach goes actually this way. Now, I also, like I said, I cut out backgrounds. And I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. Probably the green because it matches with the back. Although you could do this one. I think originally I was going to use the Calypso Coral. I decided to use the Pear Pizzazz. So for this, now because this set of dies right here only has one that's this shape, I take this shape and I cut out some extra ones. So let me see if I can find one. I have one right there. And what I do is I take my scissors and I cut around. If you look here, hopefully you're seeing this. I think I'm working too close to myself. And And I cut along where the stitching is on here. Can everybody see where there's stitching that goes around here? So that I can put it in the inside with some words. Otherwise, you can do this. This will work as well too, especially because this is a busier paper. So, but I kind of like the layer. So I should have done the magic television thing and pre-cut this for you, but now you'll just have to watch, be patient while I cut it. And I try and cut just inside the stitches. I'm not perfect about that. Anybody who knows me knows that straight cutting is not necessarily my forte. Some of you are far better at cutting than I am. I'll probably go around and clean this up later, but at least to give you an idea. I'll cut on the stitches, it'll be quicker. Because the scissors can kind of find the slots. The only problem is when you cut on the stitches, you don't have too much of a border. You can't see the stitches on the bottom one. So that's why I kind of tried to cut inside a little bit. I really don't cut too well when I'm on camera. Or when I don't have my contacts out, because I see far better when my contacts are out for doing this small stuff than I do when I have my readers on. There we go, we almost got it. And please don't judge me on my cutting job because it's really not very good. Get those out of the way. So we'll put this on here like this. Oh, I wasn't even going to use that peach either. I was going to use something different. Should I use the right side? Because there is a kind of a side after you run it through. And as you can see, I really kind of need to clean it up because it's kind of wonky. But in the meantime, I can do part of it for you. So I'm going to take the words here that says, "Have a peachy day." And I'm going to put this over on the side over here. Just like that. And then I'll end up putting my peach on the side here with the stem over, just like that. And I will probably pop them up because I do like to give some dimension to my cards. And then where are my bees? And then the bees, which I believe are back in stock. These cute little bees. I'll put one on here with a little glue dot. Let's see here. The glue dot here. Just like that. These bees actually coordinate or are part of the pansy suite, but they go perfectly well with this suite as well. And I'll take some pop-ups here. Excuse my reach. Put some on my peach. Like that. I think I'm going to close this up so I can put my hand in it. We'll put our peach over here on the side like that. I'll use my little ones. Oh, I think I'm going to need another row of them though. Put that one there and I can use my scissors to cut one of these off here. Put that just like that. Then we'll put it on here just like that, and we have our card, which opens like that. This I'll just tape down, but like I said, I'm going to clean that up when I get off camera and see if I can make it look a little little nicer anyway. Now another option we have, which I was going to show you as well, is, there's the option. Okay, you also have this branch here. So another option would be to put the branch on here. And this cuts out the 3 peaches at the same time. There's a die that does the 3 all together. And then you can put the peaches on the branch, such as that. And I could do my, have a peachy day over on this side with my little bee as well. So you also have an option with that. And then there's also 3 large flowers, which get stamped and punched, cut out at the same time. And I don't know where the little one went to, but there is a little one that goes with it as well. The stamp is right here, so that's the 3 flowers. They all stamp together, just like here's the peaches that all stamp together. And then there's the die like this that punches or cuts them all at the same time, just like the flowers. And here's the big flower die as well. So we'll cut 3 out at the same time, which is nice. It certainly saves on time. So there's a couple different options, and there's the card. The measurements there. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll put together some of these really easy cards and show me what you make. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.